Today I would like to talk to you about papers. I really love papers, and this week I've been testing some of my favorites, and I didn't take very expensive papers, just accessible ones that I would like to show you the results for some of the mediums that I use more often. Okay, so for starting, I separated the papers in 4 groups. This is not an official classification, okay? It's just I did a classification with the weight of the paper. So this video will be about what I call the sketch papers that are from 90 grams to 150 grams per square meters. Okay, so the first one that I would like to talk is this one. Probably you know. It's a XXL by Canson. It comes in blocks of 120 sheets, and it's a paper at 90 grams per square meter. It's not that expensive. It's a €6.90 for the entire block, and it's one of my favorites. It really works well for lots of things. I'm using it since I arrived here in Europe, and there's so almost 2 years, and I really like it's a paper that it's not too heavy. You see, it works well in almost all techniques. It's not perfect because it's not meant to be a watercolor paper, for example, but for the Copics, you can see here it works well. For watercolors, if you're not searching for something very uniform, it works well too. It mixes well in watercolors. It works pretty fine for colored pencils. So it's a very versatile paper. I really love to work with it. So it's one of the papers I would recommend in this category of sketch papers. Okay, the next paper I will take is the graphite sketch by Clairefontaine. It's a French paper as Canson. It's the same weight. The paper is a bit cheaper, and I took a promotion for this paper, so it costs very cheap, €1.85 for 80 sheets of paper. But I didn't like it that much. I don't know why it doesn't feel as good as the Canson. It works very fine for the pens, but for the Copic it grains a bit. As you can see, it's a bit grained. And for watercolors, this is what disturbed me more. That I know it's not a watercolor paper, but this is artist colors. So this is a watercolor that's not cheap watercolor, and the paper made it look like a cheap gouache. So if you are looking for this result, maybe you will like. I didn't like. I think it removed the transparency of the watercolors. Okay, so I didn't like this paper that much, but this was not the one that I really didn't like the most. So next paper is my favorite of this review. Is by Hahnemühle. That's a German paper maker. It's a sketch too, and it's 140 grams, so it's another category. I mean, it's not another category, but it's heavier than the other paper, so it's natural that it will be a bit better. But what I like in this paper is that it's 50 sheets of A3 paper, so like 100 sheets of A4 paper for €7. Really not expensive. It works well for all the pens. The Copic results you can see here, they are pretty good too. For the Tria markers, and I think it's the paper that it works better from all the papers that I want to show you in this series. And the graphite markers work as well too. The watercolors, really good. Doesn't dry too fast. That's an excellent thing if you're searching for a watercolor paper. It mixes very well. The color is still transparent. The color is still vibrant. It has a pretty result if you're using the colored pencils dry, and a pretty result if you are searching for the colored pencils in a wet way. And the best, it has like two sides, so this is another side that has almost no texture. I think you can't see, but so you can use both sides, and it's amazing paper. I love it. I probably am going to buy some more of this paper. Very good. Now the paper that it was not my favorite, and I already talked about it, that is the Copic paper. Is made by Favini, is made in Italy. It's 50 sheets for 7 years, so the same, it's more expensive actually than the Hahnemühle paper, and it doesn't work well for anything that I tested on it, except the pens, because the pens, as the paper is very smooth, you see there's no texture, okay, very loose paper, and these pens will work very well. They will like how I say, glass in the paper, and so you'll be able to do lots of detail, but it doesn't work well even for the Copics. You can see, I'll try to put it closer, it's grained, okay, so if you are searching for a grained result, go for this paper. If you're searching for a smooth result, don't go for this paper. The other markers that don't blend that well too, but I think they blend better than the Copic. And for watercolor is the same problem of the other paper. It makes the watercolor look like a cheap gouache ink, so I didn't like. Of course, it's not a watercolor paper, okay, it's just 70 grams, so it will never be a watercolor paper, but it doesn't work well even for the Copics, in my opinion. And the biggest problem with this paper is it's very thin and very fragile. I did this today and you already can see lots of bumps in the paper, even in the Copic area. Maybe you can't see in the camera, but it's very fragile, very difficult to manipulate. I'm not happy with this paper, so in my last favorite of this group of sketch papers is this one, okay. If you're searching for the results of Copics, it will look okay, but it looks grained and it doesn't bleed, okay. You can use it without anything behind because it doesn't bleed, it holds the Copics well. But my favorite, for sure, if you have the chance to test this paper, go for it. It's very, very good paper. Okay, so I see you next. I will continue this series and I hope it was useful for you. Bye bye.